My self-help journey began in March of 2020. I was dealing with my first real heartbreak. I had just quit my job at H&M, and I had basically lost every bit of stability that I had in my life in a matter of 1 month. Okay, I was probably at my lowest point mentally. I didn't really have much direction in life. I was coming into my own as a writer, but in terms of YouTube, I was lost. I had like 600 subscribers at the time, and I didn't know what type of content I wanted to make. Like I said, I had nothing to hold on to. No stability, no security. It was just uncertainty each and every day. And, at first, this brought me a lot of anxiety. Okay, it brought me a lot of distress because I wasn't sure what the next step was for me. But then, over time, I began to find the beauty in that uncertainty. I realized that because each and every day was uncertain and I didn't really have any type of structure, that left me with unlimited potential. Okay, the possibilities were endless. So I decided to take that opportunity to start working on myself. Now, self-help, it's something that I had always kind of done, but I never really dove that deep into it. Okay, and I especially wasn't making content on self-help. Now, like I said, it's something that I had been doing for a while, but because of the situation that I was in, with my heartbreak and me quitting my job and just being in a lot of pain, I came in with a certain level of intensity that I did not know I had within me. Okay, this is when I really began to develop killer instinct for the first time. And, obviously it's because I was dealing with the most adversity I had ever dealt with up to that point in my life. I was just about to turn 20. Okay, my birthday is in March, so while this was happening, I turned 20, and that was like the turning point for me. Okay, when I turned 20, I reflected back on my teenage years, and I realized that I had nothing to show for them. What did I do during those years? I didn't do anything to become a better person. And that ate at me. Okay, it ate at me. And I wanted to make up for lost time. And also, like I said, I was dealing with heartbreak. And in my mind, the only way I could rationalize what was happening to me was that I simply wasn't good enough for the type of relationship that I wanted. And in a sense, I was right. But I think that that's not the right way to word it. It's not the right way to look at it. It's not that I wasn't good enough, it's that I wasn't ready. But in my mind, I didn't see it that way. Okay, I just thought I wasn't good enough, so I need to better myself so that this never happens to me again. And, I want to become the best version of myself that I can be, not only to, spite that person and just level up on that person, but so that I can get the things that I want out of life. Which at the time, my goals were a lot more material in nature. I wanted things like, nice cars and nice houses and all of the material things that you could think of. And that's not to say that I don't want those things now, but, my priorities have shifted over the course of these last, 1.5 years. I now focus more on helping people out because what I've realized is that that's what truly matters. That's where legacies are made. Legacies aren't made in the things that you have or the money that you make. It's not made in the material items or, anything like that. Okay, all of that is superficial. All of that is forgotten when you die. But if you want people to remember you, if you want to leave something behind that will live much longer than you have to help people out. You have to put people first. And I understand that, but in order to help people out, you have to help yourself. Okay, you can't help other people if you have nothing to give. And I realized that. I want to help people out. That's the goal with this YouTube thing. And even though I wasn't going about it in the right way, with me making public interviews and things like that, the intention was always to help other people out. I do hope that I did that. I hope that I was able to help people out with that portion of my career and that portion of my life. But what I realized is that I wanted something deeper than that. Okay, and at first I started off making ASMR videos because I wasn't confident enough in my ability to help other people out. I thought that I wasn't good enough. I wasn't worthy of having a platform to help people. And obviously, that belief blocked a lot of my blessings. It kept a lot of my blessings away from me in terms of having that platform, having, a large number of subscribers. So, I took that time, and this was all during quarantine. Okay, all of this ran concurrent to quarantine of 2020. And I took that time to just get in the lab, isolate myself, and become the best version of myself that I could possibly become, with pain being my primary source of fuel. Now, I'm saying all of this to say that my self-help journey started from a place of pain. It started from having a negative self-perception. I didn't start my self-help journey because I loved myself and I knew that I deserved better. I started my self-help journey because I wanted to love myself. I wanted to earn my own love. But what I've realized over time is that that's not how it works, because you're always going to have room for improvement. Okay, you're always going to have room for improvement. You're never going to be your best version unless you decide to be your best version right here, right now. And being your best version is not about being at the pinnacle of who you are, because like I said, that doesn't exist. Being your best version is about becoming somebody who operates from a place of excellence, who prioritizes self-improvement each and every day. If you become better every day, you are already being your best version. But I know a lot of people don't understand that, because I didn't. Okay, and even as I got started making self-help content, I was still doing it from a place of trying to earn my own approval, trying to seek and acquire validation from myself. Because even though I wanted validation from other people, especially, from potential romantic interests, in hindsight, what I realized is that I wanted love from myself. Okay, nobody could ever give me that. But it was so far out of my mind, the idea of giving myself the validation that I knew I deserved, or that I know I deserve now anyways, that I figured I can't ever give it to myself. I have to get it from someone else. So, I committed to becoming the best version of myself to earn other people's approval. And subconsciously, that means to earn my own approval. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people, they start their self-help journeys because they want that self-love. They want to love themselves. Okay, they get on NoFap because they feel like they're not satisfied with who they are. And they want to get to that point where they are satisfied. But like I said, you'll never get to that point. You will never get to that point. If that's the mindset that you have, if you feel like you're not good enough right now, then who's to say that when you get to 90 days on NoFap, all of a sudden you're going to flip that switch and start loving yourself? What happens if you relapse? What happens if you have a wet dream? See, I see a lot of people, they get in their heads about these self-improvement tactics. And, I get emails every day from people telling me that, they feel like failures. And we're talking about teenagers, people in their early 20s, people who haven't even really started their lives yet. And they feel like failures because they've made mistakes. But you have to make mistakes. Mistakes are essential for growth. Imagine if throughout the course of your life, you never made any mistakes at all. Okay, you would still be the same person that you were when you were born, mentally. Okay, life is about trial and error. It's about making mistakes, but then learning from those mistakes and growing from those mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, including myself. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect or, morally above anyone else, in the sense that I am very hard on myself as well. Okay, I'm extremely hard on myself. A lot of times I demand perfection from myself. And obviously, perfection doesn't exist. Okay, perfection should not be the goal. Improvement should be the goal. And I know that, but I still struggle with that. So I know that a lot of you guys watching this probably struggle with that as well. If you want to get the most out of your self-help journey, you have to do it from a place of already loving yourself. You have to fill your own cup and, work on yourself because you know that that's what you deserve. You deserve a better life. You deserve to feel better. You deserve to be healthier. You deserve to, have peace of mind. Self-love has to be the foundation of your life or you will never be happy. Okay, I've learned that the hard way. I learned over time that, no matter how much I improve myself, if I'm in that comparison mindset and I'm, always trying to receive that validation from other people, the validation that I refuse to give myself, I'm never going to be happy because there's always going to be somebody better than you. Anyone can give off the perception that they have their lives together, especially when that's their job. It's their job to be on camera and, talk as if they know everything. But the truth of the matter is that none of us know anything. We're just kind of making it up as we go, and I can speak for all influencers in that sense. Nobody really knows anything. Okay, we're giving you guys life advice. Life advice is all subjective. I can only tell you how I've gotten to where I am and how other people that I've studied got to where they are. I try to find those common denominators and deliver that to you in the most clear and concise way possible, while also adding context from my own life to make my videos more relatable. But at the end of the day, I don't know anything. I'm just, learning as I go. And that's why I try not to speak in absolutes. I try not to speak in absolutes because I know that my advice is no more correct than anyone else's advice. It's just the advice that works for me, and it might work for you if you apply it. But like I said, it's my job. Okay, so I have to speak in absolutes. I have to, talk from a place of knowing everything, even though I don't, because that's what I do. Okay, that's literally what the self-help community is. It's a bunch of people pretending like they know everything, including myself. I'm no exception to that. And I've made my peace with that. Because what I've learned is that even if you don't know everything, okay, even if you don't know anything, life is about creating your own meaning. Okay, we're making this up as we go. So as I establish my own meaning to life, and I share that with other people, and they resonate with that, that's what gives my life meaning. Okay, that's where I find meaning in my life, creating and inspiring. That's what brings me joy. That's why, I turn on this camera every day, no matter how I'm feeling. It's because this is what I do. And, I'm learning to do all of this from a place of self-love because I know that I deserve the life that I desire. I deserve to have that platform. I deserve to have all of the material items. And most importantly, I deserve to make that type of impact in this world. I deserve to build a legacy that will far outlive me, a legacy that will be remembered for generations to come. But the best way I can do that is to make videos like this, where I remind you guys that I don't know everything. I'm not perfect. Okay, yes, I can put out that perception. I can easily do that, and it would obviously do wonders for my brand, but that's not actually providing value to you guys. I want to actually help you guys in the best way that I can, but it starts with helping myself. Okay, self-help. But self-help starts with self-love. And, that's something that I want you guys to take away from this video. You have to love yourself before you get on your self-help journey. I know a lot of you guys started your self-help journey from a place of pain. Okay, I would say that probably 90% of my consumers, okay, the people who watch my videos, my audience, or the people that consume self-help content in general, probably have inferiority complexes, are probably very insecure, and have probably dealt with some type of traumatic event in their life where they feel like they need to improve themselves. They need to become better so that they can be worthy of the things that they want. But the truth of the matter is that abundance is your birthright. You were born into this life to live abundantly. Okay, the chances of you being here were very, very low. So you are a walking miracle. And because of that, you deserve all of the great things that life has to offer. But, obviously me saying that is contradictory to the traditional idea of self-help. But, hopefully throughout my career, I'll be able to help redefine what self-help actually means. and I'll be able to change that culture, change that landscape, or at least provide another perspective on it. Because, like I said, you know, it's an endless rabbit hole. You can go down that path of self-improvement, but it never ends. So you have to learn to love yourself along the journey, not when you reach the destination, because there is no destination. Any destination that you set up in your mind, any goal that you create for yourself, it's just a checkpoint along the way. It's all a part of the journey. The journey never ends.